Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at Wheel Talk Podcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Ryan.
Becca.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We're live.
We're live. How are you?
I'm alright. Now I'm trying to think of I feel like it's always going to start with, how are you? Good. Not bad. Whatever. It is what it is. Let's see. Nothing much. I'm just trying to get some studio time where I can. A lot of computer time these days, but
Yeah.
I've been getting some time to throw a little bit and get been making some soup bowls. I'm to a point where this is like the last week or so that I can make stuff that'll actually be finished for the last shows of the year, so I kind of have to be a little more selective of what I choose to be making and spending my time doing. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, did I plan accordingly, and will I have enough stuff for the last 5-ish shows that I have? And what am I going to run out of? So that's what I've been figuring out this week. But yeah. Feels kind of slow, though. I don't have a ton of stuff for the calendar this week, which is nice, so it gives me more flexibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's new with you?
Well, I have a few funny, weird things to say.
Is it a dream?
No, I've had some really weird dreams this week, though. We won't go into them. One of them
We'll save that for next week.
One of them involved Krampus. Is it Krampus? Krampus?
I think it's Krampus.
Krampus. One of them involved 5 Krampuses fighting in the middle of a concentration camp, so that was interesting.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to your imagination. Alrighty then.
Alrighty then. Okay, my car, brand new van, as we all know. Brand new van has got the whole fancy schmancy screens and all the things. And it keeps switching to kilometers per hour.
Wow.
Just randomly. And when I turn it off, it resets, and I wonder if there's something wrong with it. I don't know. I'll probably call him soon. But I keep going down the street, and I'm 70 miles an hour. What the heck?
I'm guessing it's just a digital number that comes up, but
right.
It still has the dial, right?
No, it doesn't have the dial.
What?
No, it's just the number. And so
there's no dial.
No dial. And
that
so
doesn't seem right.
I think there is a dial page. There's I don't use.
Is it because the whole face of it is digital? There's no actual.
Yeah. Well, there are some dials, and there is a dial page. You can flip between different pages. I use the page that is this is your miles per hour, and so it has a smaller miles per hour reading up there. But yeah, so it keeps switching to kilometers per hour, and I keep freaking out because I was going what I thought was 70 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour zone yesterday.
Which equated to what?
I think it was probably 40 miles an hour. I was if a cop pulled me over, I'd be going 50 miles an hour over. I don't feel like I'm going that fast. And then I realized it was kilometers per hour. And but it was also 3 a.m.
Jeez.
And I had also drank a lot previously and was a little hungover. So I didn't drive drunk. I stayed at my friend's house last night and woke up at 3 a.m. and drove home. I know.
All right. So you got it.
Apparently
so you're having to switch back and forth every now and then.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to go into the units and change it. So I need to call him. But anyway, that's interesting. And also another interesting fact. Do you remember when Lloyd ruined my computer? He dumped water all over it. By knocking your water
bucket over.
Yeah, he dumped water all over it. Well, yesterday I turned it on because I had to get some information off of it. it was still like working for like 2 minutes and then it would turn off. I left it on the whole day yesterday and it was fine. So I think the computer is fine. So now I have a $2,000 MacBook Pro and a $1,000 MacBook Air. And they both work fine. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I like
I say you cut your losses on the one that got spilled on. But I don't know. I'd feel shitty selling that to somebody.
I would also feel shitty selling it because what if it does have an issue in the future? And so I'm like, do I pack up this MacBook Air, put it in a box for, turn it off, put it in a box, let it sit, and go back to the MacBook Pro until it totally bites the dust, and then I have another computer? Like, I'm trying to, kind of
I would definitely salvage whatever you can on the MacBook Pro, just in case it shits the bed.
Oh, I did.
So you don't lose anything.
I took as much as I could. I also ended up, deleting a lot of stuff off of it, so I had to remake some design files, but that was a personal choice, not a...
Yeah.
But...
Is there software on your Pro that you don't have on the Air? Like, do you have, Photoshop or something like that on
Photoshop
there?
is on the cloud now. I don't have the old version of Photoshop.
Right.
Which is such a bummer. But, yeah. So, anyway, those are my, quick thingies.
Yeah, it's still a little risky. I don't know that I'd be selling your brand new one.
Oh, I'm not going to. I'm definitely not going to sell either of them. I just don't have any use for two of them at the same time. So I'm like, which one do I pack away, for a hot second until the other one dies? And since this is a newer one, I'm thinking that this would be a better option to put in a box. Mm-hmm. And since it's maybe
it probably
3
won't
months
deteriorate
used,
or degrade as much.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously that's a better computer.
Right, yeah. Are you using your Air to its limits a little bit?
No, not even
I mean,
close.
when you do your streams with your consultants and things like consultations, is it...
What's great about the consultations is I can do them on my phone or the iPad. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I started doing them in the studio,
cellular?
and they're doing great, yeah.
Sweet, okay.
Yeah, but I haven't had a ton of consultations recently, which is fine with me. I've been doing a lot of Christmas prep, so holiday
I got a feeling
prep.
you're going to get some consultations after the first of the year, though.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be some people that want help after the holidays are over.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
Are people did you figure out a gifting thing? Was
No.
anybody? No. It'd be kind of weird to gift it to somebody. Be like, hey, you need help.
You suck. No, no. But I definitely, the people that I'm doing consultations for don't suck. So it's fine.
Do you know a potter that sucks? Give them a consultation from 5 Lines Pottery. They'll hate you.
Do you know a potter that can center but can't do anything else? 5 Lines Pottery is for you. She won't teach you how to center, but everything else is up for grabs. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, let's talk about your home show.
Home show. All right, so just did what I was calling the RD Ceramics Holiday Open Studio Sale.
Wow, what a handful. That was a mouthful right there.
One thing I learned the first year that I did it, I tried to put open house on there,
Ooh.
and it immediately thought it was home related, and then it didn't want me, I was trying to set the ads for it and put criteria,
Yeah.
and it didn't like that because it was saying I was being biased of who I was segmenting it to, because the word open house was on there because it thought it was a house listing, so I had to change that to open studio sale.
That's fair.
So one thing to note out there, if you're thinking of doing that, maybe don't call it an open house.
Yeah.
Because Facebook will not know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I did... We talked about the ads and stuff like that, but basically I ended up spending $350 on ads. I had a total of 25 people show up over the 2 days. I had
Solid
14
turnout.
show up on Saturday and 11 show up on Sunday. and I was keeping tallies of, hey, how'd you hear about the show? So it was a mixture of Facebook ads, Instagram, and then people that were neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a huge sample size. It's only 25 people, but yeah, it was, I would say maybe a little bit more Facebook. But yeah, sales were, and what are we categorizing this? Total collected is the way I like to say it.
Yeah, total collected.
On
now
Square,
that we're on
which
the
includes,
same page.
It includes your Square fees and your taxes that you collect.
Yes. It's all the money that you collected, and it doesn't account
Cash,
for all the
card,
things that
everything.
you have to take
Yep.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Total collected $1,850.
That's a good number.
For 25 people, I mean,
that's great.
That's an average sale of about $95 a person. It was nuts.
That's hot right there. That's sexy.
I was like, what the hell? There was one the biggest purchase was a $240 purchase.
That's crazy.
Brand new customer.
Love it.
She followed me on Instagram, but yeah. Nobody came and just bought, hey, I'm going to buy a spoon rest and leave.
Yeah. They came with purpose.
Yeah, and it was interesting that people just saw it on Facebook, an ad on Facebook, and they were like, oh my gosh, I love stumbling upon these kind of things. And she found it, and this one, husband and wife came, and they were like, I'm not going to tell anybody about this because then everybody's going to find out about it. And then the prices are going to be out of my price range, and I'm not going to be able to afford it once you get so big and so popular. So
that's crazy. And you're like, please do tell all your friends.
But she was getting some gifts, so I was like, here are the little slips you can give with them.
Yeah.
So people came to buy gifts, and a lot of so the difference in this one, it wasn't a lot of small things that were selling. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't, at a show I would normally sell a ton of spoon rests. I didn't sell but 3 spoon rests maybe.
Yeah.
It was people buying a lot of oil bottles, a lot of soup bowls, mugs, stuff like that. So, and those average about, 35 or so a piece.
Yeah.
35 to 40. And then the oil bottles, I was selling quite a few carved oil bottles. I think I sold 6 or something carved oil bottles. Yeah. And carved pieces in general were doing good. So
that's great.
Pretty happy with it. And that was the first time doing it at this house. It did snow on Saturday, so I was wondering if that was deterring some people. The roads weren't bad, but it was snow. It did continuously snow.
Yeah.
But it was nice to had a fire going, and it was pretty chill. I got to get some work done, and it wasn't stressful, really.
That's good.
So, yeah, it was great for first time doing it here. And you had a great show this weekend.
I had a great show this weekend.
What was your show? I think we might have prefaced it last week, but I don't remember exactly the details of the show.
I did the Bloomington Holiday Market. I think that's what it's called.
Bloomington. Okay. Yeah, so you went to Bloomington.
Bloomington Holiday Market, which is south of Indiana, and it's a college town. It's a very artsy town. Like they're very invested in the arts, from what I understand. Wine, all the things, it's down in the mountains.
That's where Indiana University is located.
Yeah. For those in Washington, this is the Bellingham to Indianapolis. This is like college, hipster, hiking, mountain climbing, that type of town. And I knew that I would do okay. Rebecca was the one that recommended this one to me. She was like, you have to do this show. The first time she ever did the show, she made like $4,000. And I was like, what? And so...
Indoor or outdoor?
It's indoor. It's at the convention center in Bloomington.
Okay.
And I actually counted my cash sales, not in Square, but I counted them after. So in Square, total collected was $3,727.
Holy shit.
With cash.
Added.
With
cash or added? Cash on top of it is?
Cash on top of it was $4,321.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Absolutely fucking insane. I
That's crazy.
It was like the first day I made about $2,400, and
Did you know it early on in the day on Saturday that it was going to be a good show?
yeah, I feel like by 11 o'clock I'd made $600 or $700.
Wow.
Or
okay.
maybe, no, by noon maybe. And it started at 10. And
It's like a 10 to 4 kind of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't extended hours and really long or anything.
Yeah, and I had a full set of fancy cups. I had 8 fancy cups and probably like 8 mini fancy cups, and had the full earrings, all the things. I was like late for setting up because I was getting all the earrings on. But after that, it kind of like moved past, and I sold 6 fancy cups.
6 of, including the small ones?
No, 6 of the $100 ones.
6 of the $100 ones of your 8 that you had?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I sold, let's see.
That's great.
I sold 4 mini fancy cups.
4 of the, I think you said 8 or 10 of those.
Yeah. So, but I sold, okay, this was a new thing that I had this week that was a fucking hit. And I think that this was a lot of the reason why I did so well, is that I had fidget stones that I put little dots on, and people like picked them up and they were like rubbing them when they were like looking at stuff. And
did you tell them to?
I didn't have to. Like they just,
so they're just sitting on the tabletop.
They were just sitting on the table, and it had like a little sign, and those were a huge hit. I sold like 20 of those.
What were they? Just balls of clay that were just flattened?
Yeah, just little balls of clay flattened. They were probably about the size of a quarter.
Okay.
And a little
you
thicker.
You just put underglazed dots on them?
Yeah, I threw them in the rock tumbler for a week and then put stroke and coat dots on them.
Okay.
And I sold them for $10 a piece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I was going to sell them for $5. I actually told a lot of people this. I was going to sell them for $5.
Oh, my gosh.
And then after I got done putting the dots on, I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Like,
abso-fucking-lutely not.
My hands hurt so bad.
Maybe you should charge more than $10.
We'll see.
I mean, the time in the rock tumbler by itself.
Yeah, but that's
I know
like,
you're not doing work,
I'm not
but
doing
you
any
gotta
work.
wait 3 days or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
It was. I think they were there for a week. We're gonna see how long these ones take.
They were in a rock tumbler for a week?
Yeah, we're gonna see how long these ones take, because these are. The first ones I smoothed off the texture, and these ones I just left the canvas texture on because I want to see how quickly it goes away in the tumbler. So, because if I can do that, then I don't have to touch them, until the very end. But yeah,
is there some material you can throw in the rock tumbler to speed up the time?
Yeah, there's grit in there right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's got grit in it. So,
gotcha.
The thumb cups, I sold 34 of them, and then.
Did you have espresso ones, or?
I did have the espresso ones. I'm just trying to get fucking rid of those ones right now. I have like 6 left, and
spoon rests?
I only sold 11 spoon rests, and for what I had was pretty good, and earrings sold really well. The earrings did really well. I sold 15.
Did you have any of the nesting bowls left, or did you already sell?
I sold both of the nesting bowls that I had, both of the big mixing bowls that I had.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
You probably don't really want to make any more of those.
Honestly, I love making them.
Oh, really?
I love it. Yeah.
I think they would. It might not be a bad idea to make some for the shows in Cincinnati you got coming up.
Yeah, I think I should make some.
Just just 3 sets or 4 sets or something.
Yeah. They sell really well and people love them. What is nice is to have them there, and then people, like, somebody saw one of them, was like, wow, those are really cool. And I was like, yeah, I also do custom sets. That way they can choose their colors. And so somebody emailed me and I got a custom set order from that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, a show you will be doing again, it sounds like.
Yeah. For sure. And
Was there any other potters there, or what kind
Tons.
of vibe
There
were
was a
the other
potter
vendors?
across the room from me. There was so many potters. I
Really? Okay.
mm-hmm.
What about like earrings and stuff? Did you have competition for that?
Me and Deanna were the only ones with ceramic earrings, but there was a lot of jewelry for sure. I I think that me and her have a because we have ceramic jewelry, it's a little bit like we're not jewelry, but we're not pottery, so we kind of have this like weird niche group. So,
Yeah.
but people seem to really respond well. So,
Yeah, that's great. It's nice to hear that you found a like Bloomington.
yeah,
There's a good response there.
and people had said that too. Like Deanna and another friend that I have from shows was like Bloomington shows up. They
Nice.
show up for
Was
their
it
people.
a ticketed event?
No, but they did have grab bags at the beginning. There was a line of like 100 people, 200 people maybe, the morning of,
Okay.
and it was snowing. So.
Right. Yeah, it did snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it snowed a little more for you all there, I think, than it did here.
Yeah, I was driving in that snow in the morning, and I was not happy about it. Driving in a brand new car in the snow sucks. Because you just don't know how the car works.
Right. I mean, at least it's weighted enough that it should be okay, but...
Hopefully, I don't know. It doesn't have a lot of weight in there now. But, but yeah. So, but it was fun. My neighbors were great. Traded some stuff. Bought a Christmas present for my mom, even though she told me not to buy any presents for them. And got some fun earrings and...
Yeah, I think we're still at a good spot of the time of year, too. It's mid-November right now, but you're kind of hitting it early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that has any impact on how much people are spending or if they're...
True. I don't know. Man, somebody bought 2 of the fancy cups for gifts for their son and girlfriend of son. I was like...
Wow. A girlfriend of son got $100 cup?
Yeah.
They must love her.
No, she's never met her, so she didn't know what...
Oh, my God. Oh, really?
She's never met her, and she was like, I don't know what she likes, so we're just going to try this.
You better like this.
And I was like, I think she'll like it. But...
hopefully she appreciates handmade, and she'll be like,
yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, I still, like, I'm so uncomfortable selling those $100 mugs, but still, I'm like, you saw the price, right?
Well, you probably don't have your stickers on there like you did at the coffee show, right? I don't.
And there's a sign that says something. Yeah, so it's fine. But
yeah, but you still encourage them to pick it up and...
Yeah, I encourage them to pick it up and stuff like that. So, but usually they see the sign, but I always check.
Yeah.
Like,
man, those fidget stones. Who knew?
Fidget stones are where it's at. Like, I was selling those like hotcakes. I sold I sold this couple, so funny. So this man and his partner came in, and he bought a regular wine glass, right? And like a thumb cup. And then he was like oohing and awing over the fancy cups, and he leaves. And then he came back 2 hours later and was like, I gotta buy it. So he bought the fancy cup. And while he was buying the fancy cup, his husband or boyfriend or whatever was feeling up the fidget stone, and I was like, just take it. I was like, take the fidget stone. He like could not put it down. And I was like, just take it. You're buying a fancy cup, it's fine. So they leave. Next day, he comes and he's like, girl. He like walks and he's like, you got us good.
You got us good.
He was like, we have to buy 3 more fidget stones and another wine glass.
And a what?
And another wine glass.
Oh, that's great.
Not the fancy kind, but like a regular one. He was like, we need a fidget stone for each pocket.
Oh my gosh. For each pocket.
It was so funny. I was like, oh, that was definitely the highlight, was those 2 guys. That was great.
Who knew? A fidget stone.
You know, a lot of people are neurodivergent, and they need stuff like that. You know? I need it. That's why I made them. I was like fucking at the show at Halloween. one of my earrings broke, and so I was just like feeling it the whole day, and I was like, this is great. Like it just like I'm not on my phone if I'm feeling something like that, you know. I don't like have any urge to get onto my phone to look at things. I just kind of like have it in my hand and play with it. And
I can totally see that.
Yeah. And people see that, you know. There's a lot of kids out there that have those type of needs.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Were there many kids there? Did some parents get them for the kids?
Yeah, some parents did get them stocking stuffers for the kids. And
that's a great stocking stuffer.
It's a super great stocking stuffer.
I think you need to charge more than $10 for it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Why you threw $15 on there?
Well, I just made my price tags and I just put $10 on it. So.
Oh, bummer.
I don't know. I did up my cool earrings that have the balls on the end. I upped those to $40. So.
The earrings with the ball. Oh, like the dingleberry.
Yeah, the dingleberries. The fruity pebble clusters, the Dippin' Dot.
Oh, Dippin' Dots.
Dude, I found out, this is information that everybody needs to know. We found out things about Dippin' Dots today. So, okay. I will go into this and then we will go into our fun things of the
Do they have connections with big ballpark or big arenas or something?
No.
And that's why they're not sold anywhere else?
No, they're not. So, Dippin' Dots was started in like 1988, and the Dippin' Dots need a freezer that's negative 40 degrees because they're like cryo.
Well, yeah, you don't want them to melt at all because they will all become one.
And the way that they're made is like with like cryothermo whatever. I don't know anything about science, but
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, these freezers are negative 40 degrees, and what is also needed for negative 40 degree freezers is biochemical stuff. So like stuff for labs. And so not only is Dippin' Dots an ice cream company, but it is also a biochemical lab type company thing too. So
because they source the chemicals to get it that cold?
Because they make the freezers.
Right, okay.
For that,
like freezing embryos and shit like that?
Yeah, like that. And so, so that's like their pseudo part of, like the Dippin' Dots seems to be just like the small part of the company. It was sold in 2022 for like $200 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because we looked it up, you have to. I'm not claiming facts here, but all of the vaccines for COVID needed to be frozen in those type of freezers.
Oh, okay.
And so they probably made like shit tons of money.
I remember hearing that.
Isn't that crazy?
The temperature stuff, yeah. Huh.
Dippin' Dots. Also,
interesting.
Just so you know, if you do
What's
get
the parent company?
if you do get a Dippin' Dot, no, Dippin' Dots is the parent company. If you do get it,
really,
I think so. If you do have a Dippin' Dots craving, you can buy it in bulk off of their website for $64.
Icy plus Dippin' Dots on their website. New icy cherry and blue raz Dippin' Dots.
Right. What?
What? Still doesn't beat Rainbow Ice. I can't. Nobody can sway me.
No. Okay.
Rainbow Ice is the best,
no.
and I haven't even tried any other flavors. I don't even care.
Mint chocolate chip. The mint chocolate is the best, and they fucking took it away. Now it's like mint fucking Oreo. Gross. Okay.
Rainbow Ice available online. Oh my gosh, I might need to buy some of this.
You can get it for $60, but you can't put it in your regular freezer. You have to put. You have to eat it all in one sitting.
Fuck.
I asked.
A bulk bag is $70. Single serving, $4. Oh, that fucking sucks. Oh yeah, that's what it says. Very important few things cannot be stored in a home freezer. Must maintain a negative 40. How cold is dry ice though? Is that not?
It's pretty damn cold.
That's not cold enough?
No, it's cold enough. You can like repack it with dry ice, I think.
Product is shipped on dry ice. Please use cloth gloves or towel if you need to move the dry ice, and please read dry ice safety sheet included with your order.
So anyway, now you know if you want to get Dippin' Dots, that's how. Also, there are some places in Ohio that still sell it, and it's like malls and shit.
Really?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Locations. Wow. Okay. was like, do we need to have a little Dippin' Dot party at Encika or something?
Yeah.
Order bulk Dippin' Dots.
Oh my
Scoop
gosh.
them out, baby.
I told the people that own the brewery downstairs in the studio, I was like, can you guys get a Dippin' Dot freezer, please? He's like, oh yeah, I'll add it to the list. Because I also told them they need to get like everybody in the studio smokes cigarettes, and I was like, you guys should get a cigarette machine and just get a vending machine and like sell 2 cigarettes at a time, like saran wrapped for $1.
Oh my gosh.
Because he has like an old vending machine. I was like, get on it. So
Selling
funny.
darts.
She was like, we're not going to support bad habits. And I was like, that's fair. But still profitable.
My grandfather managed a bowling alley for like 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the old school bowling alleys that had the tobacco machines with the cigarettes in it.
Yeah.
They're so old school.
They're so cool, though. Those are like some of my favorite vending machines. Like, I'm not going to buy a cigarette pack out of it, but
What could you put in there alternatively that is not cigarettes?
little
that
arts,
would work?
like pieces of art and stuff.
What if they had little like Altoid containers that had art in them?
That'd be fun.
And it was like, open it up.
Yeah. Get it. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. We should probably.
All right.
Okay.
You're supposed to pick a random one off the questions. So we got a bunch of listener questions. Thank you all for sending those through Instagram.
Yeah.
We did a little, hey, we need some questions, and you all sent a bunch.
Yeah, so thank you. There's a bunch of random small questions, so we're going to do one kind of like a fun thing. Okay. This is good. What is your favorite Christmas cookie?
If it's like a packaged cookie, I really love the gingerbread man.
What about what your mom would make at Christmas time? Deech is not really a Christmas
we
cookie.
didn't really make those Christmas cookies and stuff. I mean, back in the day, I used to love the sugar ones with the kind of glittery icing. Mm-hmm. It's not like a
the sugar
liquid icing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a hardened icing on it.
Yeah.
Similar to like a loft house, but
yeah,
not quite that sweet.
Yeah. Is that your answer?
Yeah. That's my final answer.
Okay, my answer is spritzer cookies.
What is that?
Spritzer cookies are the cookies that you put into a tin, and not a tin, an extruder, and you push them down onto the paper, and they have this really unique taste.
Spritz cookies?
Yeah, those.
Okay.
You press it down, and they can make Christmas trees or wreaths or stars, and every time.
So is it in like a mini bunt cake or something, like little templates or something that you?
Okay, it is an extruder.
Like a sprig mold.
It's in an extruder. You put the cookie dough in an extruder, like a handheld extruder that's like a foot long, and then you put a little metal plate on the bottom, and it has a little tree on the cut out. Right? Mm-hmm. And then when you push the dough through and it sticks to the paper and you take it up, it has the shape of a tree.
Okay. Yeah, I see all the different shapes. There's a lot of star shapes and stuff like that.
They have no frosting.
I think what they taste like. Do they just taste like a sugar cookie kind of, but they're a little drier?
No, there's something in them, and I don't know what it is, and it's been a long time since I've had them, but they are not like sugar cookies. They're so good. You don't need any icing. No icing needed.
Yeah, I see little sprinkles and stuff on them, but
yeah. That's my favorite Christmas cookie.
When I saw them, it made me think of those old I think they're like the yogurt cover ones that have the little rainbow sprinkles on them.
I love those.
They were in a bag. They were like animal crackers.
Cookies. Yes.
Animal cookies.
Those are delicious.
Those aren't really Christmas, but they're fucking delicious.
Oh, so good. Okay. So that's our answer.
Final answer.
Final answer. Okay. What next?
Are we going into our topic?
Yeah.
We got a couple questions that kind of relate to each other. And we're going to go into that. So,
Sweet.
depending on when this releases, it's probably going to hit that time where y'all are thinking about this. So, the first question is from Perched Pottery. I believe I can't remember their name. So, I won't try to remember it. Because then I'll get it wrong.
Corinne.
Corinne? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll trust you.
Is it Karina? Corinne. It's Corinne.
I think it's Corinne. Now that you said it,
it's Corinne.
I was going to say Sarah, but I think that's Rusty Wheel Pottery.
Yeah, that's Rusty Wheel.
Okay. Corinne. She's up in Yellowknife,
Canada. Up in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
She's up there. All right. It says, after the endless hours of making and selling your work for the holiday sale season, what do you do next? Do you take time off to relax, take time to test out new ideas or glazes, deep clean your studio, etc.? Or do you get right back to making?
I feel like we should also...
It said take time to relax.
I feel like we should also read the next question because they kind of go together.
Yeah. Okay, so
Do you want me to read that one?
Go ahead and read the second one. Yeah.
Do you guys experience low times after the holidays where there aren't many shows or sales? If so, do you have strategies to keep making money with pottery during those times? That's Peace Rose Pottery.
Peace Rose Pottery.
Yes. So, cool. What I have a lot to say. What do you do? Do you do anything?
So after the holiday season, I do get to kind of relax a little bit because doing the traveling to the families and all that stuff during the holidays, that's going to happen regardless. So I'm not going to get time in the studio, which is fine. And obviously any making you're doing at that point, you're not making toward any shows coming up.
Yeah. Or
you probably don't have wholesale orders to fulfill in January. Maybe you do. I don't know. But you're just it's kind of extra time to work with. So I kind of focus on, getting through the holidays with family. And then Rachel and I normally plan a New Year's thing, whether we go travel somewhere. We haven't done that in a couple of years or a few years, but we usually travel somewhere for New Year's to get, 2 or 3 days away. And then normally ClayCon West is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. So, I kind of use the 2 weeks or so before that because that's usually mid-January. So that's going to be part work, part relax. I'm not really making a lot during that. I'm just, focusing on what we're going to talk about at the conference and things like that. And, making sure Becca's got the pots to take out there when she drives out there.
Oh, yeah. We'll
have to figure out when I need to get those to you.
I got a few people in the Midwest that I'm taking pots out for.
Oh, sweet.
Well, I was thinking about...
You're going to drop some off at Isaac's and...
No. I forgot his name, the keynote speaker. Green. Seth Green. Seth Green is the keynote speaker at ClayCon West, and he lives in Indiana. So I was just going to grab his shit. And I told him I'd take...
picking up
Yeah, I told him
I'd
take him to ClayCon West because I have the space.
Gotcha.
So...
Okay. Yeah, so ClayCon West, January, and then that'll take me to NCECA in March. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's nothing in the weekends or anything like that. So, even socially, there's not a ton going on. So, I'll just get time in the studio and just work in the studio. If I want to focus on some new projects, I will. But I'm not really...
Well, and I think it's also...
working toward anything directly.
Yeah, and it's important to note that you aren't... This isn't money that you need, so you have the ability to do that,
To coast, yeah.
To coast a little bit in January and February, and I know some people don't have that ability.
Also, I have work that is selling over the holidays through galleries and shops that I will be getting checks for in January, February.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's where my money comes from earlier in the year. I'm not really registering sales much.
Yeah.
I might have some Etsy sales, but it's just like a trickle. It's not. So having things in the shop that are there for a long period of time that I can leave in there, like shot glasses, spoon rests, will get some sales trickling in, some cash flow.
Yeah.
But it's not a ton like shows are. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my focus all the way through, I would say, March.
Okay.
What about you? What are you thinking?
So I actually, ironically, like, we didn't know what we were going to talk about earlier today. As most people know, we figured out 20 minutes before we actually start talking. But I actually today was like, okay, this is my plan. My current plan is to have $10,000 in my business bank account by the end of December. And like just save as much as I can. Mm-hmm. And we don't know if that's going to happen, but
that's why you're going hard on the shows right now.
But I'm going hard on the shows right now, and that way, when January hits, I'm not freaking out about the fact that I need a certain amount of money, especially because for me, I also not only am I going into January as just January
without an apartment.
But I'm going in without an apartment. So so there's also that.
Homeless.
I'm also going to be homeless. No. So I plan on just like fucking killing it. And I'm in the studio every day right now. And
yeah, you got a pep in your step right now.
I do. I have a pep in my step.
I don't know if it's a fire that is looming.
No.
Because of all the shows that you got to meet the demand for.
Yeah. But I've been, I've got a bunch of... So what's big for me and what I thought was actually... it has been very great, is that I've taken probably 4 or 5 place setting orders, and those are all going to be done in January. And I made it a point to tell them they would be done in January, not December, so that I can deliver them first. Because...
How did you take those orders? Did you do those on your website recently, or were those backlog?
They were like...
Had been...
I posted on my stories saying, like, if anybody wanted to order a place setting, now's the time. And,
right.
And so, and I've gotten, like, a few people kind of in on that. So, and I just...
And did you get a deposit for those up front?
No.
Just to help with money flow and all that stuff?
I didn't, but
okay.
They're all people that I know. So it's like, it doesn't matter.
So you'll get that income when they
it's either
delivered,
all people that have been past customers or people that I know. So
that's a great idea though.
Yeah. Oh,
to set
I lied.
Aside.
Deanna did pay me because I had a rough week once. And she was like, here's your money.
Oh wow.
So but hers is almost done. And so that is something that I'm doing to help, like, doing a few orders that will be fulfilled in January and be paid in January. So that money will come in January. And, but I am taking time to kind of relax in January. I think it is important. And if you can like make the time, I think it's super important because we all get burned out in holiday season. And, I don't think I've ever really done that in the past, but I plan on being very purposeful about it this year.
Mm-hmm. What does the relaxing time look like for you? Like, what does that actually mean?
Not freaking out.
You don't go in the studio at all for
No, I'll still like do stuff.
Or...
Well, I'll be gone. So that's also the thing for me is that I am January 1st moving out. I'm literally driving to Colorado January 1st and then driving to California and then going to visit Jen for a couple weeks and then coming up to Claycon West and then visiting Andrew and then going up to Washington. So, like, Andrew, my best friend Andrew, he has a house in Arizona. So, yeah. So, I'm not even going to be in Indiana where my studio is, so I kind of have to do that. But I will be taking my mini kiln and I will be making earrings along the way. And I did sign up for a show in February in Washington. So
Really?
yeah, but I realize that I am if ooh, if I had submitted like actually good pictures, I think that I would be accepted. But I submitted my picture, like what I do normally.
Like you holding a pot
Yeah.
in your studio with nothing, no background?
Yeah, and like and like a stack of 7 pots, like like with a can of Coke behind it. Like
Oh my gosh.
so so we're gonna see if that works. And I don't know, like when they say we want pictures of your work, does that mean they want one picture to one piece? Because I did one picture to like 16 pieces.
It depends. You can do different things. You can do a series, like your pots that are all fancy cups stacked
Yeah.
is probably okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's also hard for you to take a photo of just one thing
Yeah.
that's going to represent
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
a bunch,
So
But
yeah.
you know.
But yeah, I do plan on like kind of taking it a little bit easy, especially this year, because it's, a whole new journey for me. I'm going to have to like really figure out what my setup is going to be. But
What is your what is that 10 grand going to hold you over until? Is that going to hold you through the month of January, February, March? Is that what the intention is for that? Like how long are you?
I pay myself $800 a week. So it should last me a fair amount, but I still have to pay rent on my studio, and I still have to pay a few things, here and there.
And then traveling, are you expecting that to be more than $800 a month? Or that's part of your
$800
$800?
a
That's
week.
a week, sorry.
Yeah. Traveling, that'll be part of the $800, no problem. And
Are you going to get time to build on the
van
a little
in
bit while you're in
February.
Washington, Colorado?
Yeah, in February when I come back to my parents' house. So,
Nice.
yeah, so I don't expect those to be high spending months. So I think it'll be fine. But oh, do you take time to test out new ideas, glazes, or deep clean your studio? Oh, yeah. Okay, continue. Do you take time to test out glazes or ideas? Don't do the cleaning yet.
I've been doing a little bit of glazing now, just with little test things, just to kind of get my... Well, I just did a bunch of glazing on the Empty Bowls event that I was making bowls for. So that's a volunteer event that we do for the Clay Alliance every November, and I did a little throw-a-thon with Erica, my studio assistant, and a friend of ours, Anna, that goes to NKU, and we threw about 50 bowls, and then we did a bunch of glaze tests. So we generally didn't do any of the existing combos, so that was kind of a glazing testing situation that I already kind of started. But I do figure out one or two glaze combos that I'd like to add. It's not any formal thing where it's like I'm gonna announce this new glaze combo and it's called Arctic Rust or something like that. I don't do that. Where some people would do those combos and name them and all that stuff. I don't really do that. I just kind of...
What does Arctic Rust look like? Is it like white with brown speckles?
I just made that up.
I know, but like if you were gonna if you had a
Arctic Rust to me sounds like it's like a glacier and then it's got bits of like copper on it.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Like an icy blue.
Can we do one episode? Can we just do one episode where we have everybody submit names for glazes and we just tell you what they look like?
That sounds like the worst episode ever.
Exactly. Anyway, that's fun. I don't.
So yeah, that's my glazing thing. I don't... Ideas wise, I did get some new tools from Diamond Core that I need to try out. The new like fluting tools that they have.
Oh.
Which are carving tools. So I'm thinking if I want to start trying those out over the winter.
Yeah.
Carving on some cups to see if I want to maybe incorporate those instead of my typical like U-shaped carving on my bottles.
Yeah.
And mugs and things. Maybe I'll try some of those out and see what they look like.
Okay.
Maybe I'll add some new designs to that.
Yeah. I think that for me, January is not a time of new beginnings. Like, but it is the end of a holiday season, but it's not like...
Is it reflective, though?
I think it's reflective, but not inventive for me. That's what I think.
I agree.
Reflective, but not inventive.
Do you get inventive from Claycon West, though? Do you get some inspiration or some ideas that you take away?
Maybe.
It's
probably not.
I feel like it's more business discussion there that I'm taking away than technique ideas.
Yeah. I think that ideas for me are harder to come by now, but yeah,
Are you more of a stumble upon an idea?
Yeah.
Or are you because some people sketch and then they
plan,
manifest it physically
after
they sketch it, and I'm like, I'm not really a sketcher.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm definitely more of like, if something happens, I will take 30 minutes to be sidetracked to figure it out in the moment.
Yeah. Because something accidental happens?
Right. Or if I think of something. Like yesterday, I was like, oh, what if I put Stroke and Coat glaze in my extruder that has tiny little dots, and maybe I can extrude little dots out of it, and then I don't have to do it by hand. Each one didn't work. But, like things like that, I'll take the time out to test it out. Just any time, not just after, a holiday show. Now, I do think it's a good idea to deep clean your studio, though. I love that idea.
I like that.
Yeah, like to take like 2 days to just kind of go at it, like don't do any pottery and just clean the shit out of it. Great idea.
I would recommend not waiting until those 2 days at the end of the year to do any cleaning.
Agreed.
Clean little bits at a time.
Yes. For sure.
It actually made me feel good. There was a customer over the weekend that came in and she was like, wow, it's so clean in here. I was like, yeah, I'll try to keep it tidy. And she was like, your wife must be really lucky. But you, going into other people's studios, you get a sense of how clean yours is compared to theirs.
Oh, for sure.
But.
For sure.
And then whereas I'm, there's things scattered and seems like organized chaos to me, seems like perfectly immaculate to other people. So
yeah,
I think it's just a personality thing too. Of do you put things back where you get them from, or do you leave them sitting or whatever?
Yeah.
People have that personality trait.
I have like one area of chaos, and then the rest is pretty orderly.
Mm-hmm.
Like the area that I do all the glazing for the earrings is just straight chaos. But my wheel setup and my table that I have all of my, that I do all of my weighing out and stuff, very clean and orderly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very systematic process.
Yeah.
It's a pretty monotonous thing. So, put your scale back where it should be and put your wire back where it should be and your bats where they need to be.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be something that you're scouring around trying to find tools and things like that.
Totally.
If you put them back where they need to be, then you don't run into those situations. But
for sure. I think that we should all give ourselves permission to take a little time off in January. Take it easy. If you can't afford to take it off, take it easy. Now, then we should move on to the part where it says there aren't many shows and sales. So what do you do if you do need to keep money up in January? Like, what are some ideas to make money in January? I have a great idea. Mystery boxes.
What do you got? Yeah, that's a great idea.
Mystery boxes are a great idea for January. It's even a great idea for the end of December. But, I for sure will probably be doing mystery boxes when I get back in February with all of the stuff that I didn't sell off in the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
All the odds and ends that I decided not to sell, blah, blah, blah.
Are you doing that because you like to start fresh with brand new inventory when show season comes, or is it just clearing of your mind
I think it's
to have those out of your life?
both.
Or
I think it's both, but also over the year, I typically find items that I don't want to sell anymore, you know?
yeah,
And so that's usually what it is. Like, I
I tend to not take those to shows. I feel like I would love to get this out of my life, but I don't want to dedicate a portion of my table at a show for this thing that's been around for 2 years.
Exactly. So, like, this year I had some tumblers that I made that was a bad mistake. And those are just sitting on a shelf waiting for a mystery box.
Are they taller tumblers, or they were going to be fancy cups, or
They're
what?
taller tumblers.
Okay.
There was too much clay to make them out of wine glasses and too little clay to, I don't know, to make them bowls or something.
And it seems like the mystery box is going to save you headache over I'm going to post seconds.
Yeah.
That are very individually listed, and
yeah.
I've went through that and took photos of all my seconds carved mugs. They're still up in my closet in there on the shelf that I would like to put in mystery boxes. I never did because is somebody going to like a carved mug that's yellow if they don't like yellow? That's got a fault with it, but like they're getting a mug that's normally $60.
Yeah.
For
you can also
a mystery box.
You can also, if you have that kind of conundrum, you can also say, "Hey, what's your favorite color?" Can't guarantee it, but what's your favorite color? You know?
That's not a bad idea.
And like be very clear about it. Say like, "I cannot guarantee that you will get this color, but I'd love to know colors that you like." You know?
Okay. Don't give them too many options of specifying, because then they might get little bit too high expectations.
Do you like warm colors, cool colors, or neutrals?
There you go.
Yeah.
And they say orange, and you give them something that's copper, and they're like, "This is more red."
Yeah.
What about so when I did the mystery boxes, I listed, "Are you open to seconds or not?" And as long as you explain what that means.
Yep.
You can also get rid of some slightly defective things that are still functional.
Yep. Totally.
So you don't have to break them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the threat of breaking pieces is a way to sell in that situation too.
What do you mean?
You say, "Hey, I'm going to have a pottery smashing sale, or I'm going to smash all this pottery, and you're going to save it from smash if you buy it from a mystery box."
Or you can pay me $10 to video me.
Buy a mystery box to save this pot's life.
Save a pot's life. Save a life. Save a life. Buy a pot. Yeah. Are there any other thoughts about like making money in January? You could move to Florida. There's tons of shows in Florida. Like,
just move to Florida.
It's crazy. I've been looking on this application, and like every fucking show is in Florida.
Yeah, there's a bunch of southern ones. Florida, Georgia, I think.
Yeah. Maybe
Louisiana has some. I don't know. Yeah, my only other things for that time of year that I normally do, there's a coffee shop that I sell some mugs to that normally gets some things for.
Yeah.
February for Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is a great time to sell some stuff. If you got lovey-dovey stuff, make some mugs with hearts on it. Make some.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't personally do that, but you can make.
You wouldn't do a heart and do your little carves in the heart? That'd be cute.
No.
Come on.
Fuck that. You wouldn't do it either.
I absolutely would not. I have, but I won't do it now.
Like heart bowls? Make some heart bowls?
Gross. Do not make heart bowls.
Why not?
Ugh, gross.
Would you rather make a heart bowl, or would you rather do a carving with a heart stamp thing?
I'd rather do a carving. Heart bowls are straight from the devil.
What about... I'm thinking of a money-making thing. I don't know what else I did to make money during that period of time. Teaching?
Mm.
Can you teach like a workshop or something like that? Maybe if there's a local studio that you teach at and you don't do a lot of teaching because of shows and things like that. I mean, it might be too late now to say, hey, I want to teach something, but I could ramp up on teaching at Baker Hunt during that January, February time if I wanted to.
Yeah, when I was doing paint your own pottery, I hate to tell people to get into this, but it was so much fun. We did to-go kits for kids and it included a pound of clay and then like included some tools that was like basic tools like a pencil, a straw, a Q-tip, like, you know, stuff that, and like a couple brushes and some underglaze. And then they would take it home and do, and I made like a YouTube video on a tutorial how to make a stupid animal, something like that. And barely ever did the animals come back, but just random stuff. And it was so much fun to like see the kids' stuff that they made.
Just like a little winter activity.
Yeah, and like, but also something super, super simple if you wanted to get into that type of stuff and, you know, you're in a smaller town or something like that, is just to maybe go into Bisque Imports and buy like some stupid figurines, like the small ones that are like $1 online, and you could send out like red, green, yellow, and blue little stroking coats. You'd only have to buy 4 bottles of stroking coats and send them out and have them bring them back. And those are great for snow days. I know that's like thinking really outside the box, but sometimes you do have to do that if you are in a bind. And that can be really fun. And they're so goddamn cute when they come back. Like the way they're painted. And that's like really low risk too. You know, just...
Yeah, you're not going to blow anything up.
Yeah, you're not going to blow anything up. You just put it with the rest of your bisque stuff, you know. Get some Mako Clear low fire and just put it with the rest of your bisque bisque ware, like on the top shelf. And just wipe off the bottoms. And but that if you want like a creative way to like make some money locally, that might be a good way. Especially if you're in an area where there's a lot of snow days, because parents go crazy having their kids home for snow days, like multiple days at a time, you know. So yeah I made so much money in January of 2020 when the snow came.
Yeah, I was thinking similarly, mystery boxes I'm probably going to sell off. I want to get out of selling those air plants. I'll probably sell off some of those at a discount, like 3 for $10 or something like that.
Yeah.
2 for $5 or something. I don't know. I want to get rid of some things.
Yeah.
3 for $5. I don't know. Yeah, mystery boxes will be in my future.
I'd like some air plants. Eric died, so Eric the air plant.
Are you going to be able to keep your air plants in the car though?
I don't know.
You probably can't.
I was going to put it in the studio.
Is it going to get down below 50 in there?
No. And Sarah
No?
Sarah watches over the plants. I don't.
Oh, in your studio. I thought you meant your van studio.
No. My studio, the studio.
Oh, yeah. You can have some.
Yeah. Sarah watches over the plants, but I did kill Eric, the air plant. That was my fault.
Damn it.
But Ruby's still kicking. Ruby, the rubber plant. And Bert, the money plant, is still... he's okay. He's having a moment.
These were all your plants?
I have 3 plants. Well, I had 3 plants. Now I have 2.
Okay. I have some succulent things. Do you want a succulent plant?
No.
Okay. You just get... Does Sarah want a succulent plant?
I'll ask.
Because she will be taking care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the money-making thing during that time of year, I feel like you do have to...
You have to be really creative.
I still want to get back to...
Oh! I have an idea. What if you partner up with one of the restaurants locally that you have and do like a chili bowl fundraiser or not fundraiser, but you could just do a chili bowl. I'm gonna make money from bowls situation. That would be fun. Like if you.
What do you mean?
So like, let's say you partner up with a local company like that does maybe a restaurant that gets a little slower in January too, and they make soup and you make some bowls and you sell them for $15 or whatever, and they get part of the profit.
$25. Sell those bad boys for $25.
$25.
That's what we do. That's what we do for empty bowls.
Yeah, $25, and you get the money for the bowls, they get the money for the soup, and all is well in love and war. And also, you can do little painting parties too, if you like people, you know. Do little workshops. There's no
like throw a bowl and have them paint it, or throw a
like do little hand make bells or hand make little figurines or something like that. You know, Rebecca's been doing a lot of workshops and they seem to be going really well. And
yeah, the thing is, you don't need a ton of people.
You
can get away with 4 to 6 people at one of those, and it's worth it.
And it's totally worth it. And you can do it in your house or your home studio, and they love it. They love it. And like, you know, they just
little winter outing.
A little winter outing. You know, you make some little incense burners or something like that. Like choose a topic, and they can make it, hand make it, and then they just tell you what color to glaze it. Like you really do have to think outside of the box. If there's no sales, you have to make the money. You have to find the money.
Yeah. And if you're immediately like, I don't want to teach anybody, I don't want to deal with kids, then that's off the list and you got to figure something else out.
Yeah, then you got to figure something else out. Yeah. You know.
Maybe there's somebody locally that's killing it in business and they could use somebody to throw for them.
Yeah.
And you could throw in piecework, bisqueware. And be like, hey, I can throw something for you.
Yeah. Maybe this is the time where you start searching out wholesalers that you want to work with. You know, if you like planters, find some greenhouse people, some florists or whatever.
Oh yeah. Do some cold emailing.
Yeah, or some cold walking in.
You could do that. I wouldn't, but you could. You could reach out to some people on Instagram alternatively, or in addition to.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so the other non-money thing was, and there was another question kind of related to that, but you should start looking at the calendar for shows that you're maybe interested in.
Yeah.
Or do some research. That's a good time of year to, for one, you might be able to go to Zapplication and see open applications that are already open for the spring, fall, whatever.
I just got an email from Zapplication that gave me all the things that were open, the new ones.
So, yeah, so that's an option. Start looking at some shows that you might be interested in. You could also go to their websites if you find shows and look at their vendor list from 2022.
Yeah.
Or the current year, and see what other vendors were there and see if there's some potters in there or what kind of artists are there, so you get a sense of the vibe, because you don't want to be down to the wire of applying and you just apply for it because the deadline's coming up and you have no other option.
Yeah.
So ideally you can get ahead of the game there, because you do need to plan, I would say, multiple months ahead of time for those kind of shows.
Yeah.
For the shows that are worth it, in my opinion, and that's a subjective statement, what's worth it for you, but I want to apply for something like that. You could go ahead.
Oh, no, go on. I'm going to do
the only other
different
thing for shows that I was thinking of that you could consider doing, there's a local farmers market to me that actually is moving indoors for the winter, and they're an every week thing. It's a farmers market, so people are coming, getting their produce. That might be an option. Maybe you just throw a few things together and you sell at this farmers market. It's not going to be a ton of money, but maybe it's a little trickle of something.
Yeah.
And it's consistent. So that's an option.
Also, I think that it should be noted that sometimes getting a part-time job is totally fine. If you need the money and you need to go fucking deliver pizzas for a month, deliver pizzas. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that, too. I think that should be said, you know? Like,
It's a good idea. I'm sure there's very seasonal things
yeah,
that...
pizza is good all year round. Let's remember that, and especially in the winter. But yeah, I mean, like, if you have to go work at a grocery store for a hot second, that's fine. Like, if anything, it'll
I'm
probably...
sure they'd be happy to have any staff right now.
If anything, it'll probably let you kind of think about what you want to do, and kind of how you want to get ahead. So keep that in mind. It's not giving up by getting just a job, you know?
Mm-hmm. Plus, it gives you, like you said, you're getting paid while you're working, but hopefully the work is not...
It's mindless.
So mind intensive, and that you can't be thinking of some things in your brain of what you want to do with your business.
Yeah.
When you get the time to do that. So it's kind of a break from your studio where you're not in desperate mode where, hey, we need to find some money, so we need to figure something out, and you try a bunch of stuff, and maybe it's not as beneficial, and you're trying things that you don't know if it's going to make money, and maybe you have to spend the money to make the money. Yeah. Like those kits with the underglazes and stroking coats and all the bisque things. You might have to spend $100
to get it going.
And then you don't know what's going to work and how to advertise and market it. And do you have enough people locally that will take part in it or not? And you could make $100 in a week or more than that, hopefully, doing a job part-time that you could be thinking of other ideas.
Yep. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yup. Do we have anything else?
I was thinking of something else. What else? I said the playing for the shows. It also might be a good time if you've been considering, website things. If you want to update your website or you want to migrate from Etsy to your website, or I need to update this section of my site and, make it little by little, you kind of work on it, or if you want to make some content for your social platforms and do some videos, and you can plan ahead for that and actually schedule time so you're not in desperation mode during the holidays and you don't really have time to focus on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Might be a good time to do some of that. I feel like there's some other stuff that I do during that time.
Sleep. I sleep. I take a lot of time to sleep.
I try to do like computer things that I don't feel like doing.
Oh my God, get your fucking taxes done in January. Just do your taxes.
Yeah,
we were talking about this last week. Like, we're both the type of people that do our taxes in January, but
I didn't even understand why people get extensions, and Becca was like, it's so easy to get an extension that people just do it.
Yeah, they just do it. That's a great time to do all your fucking...
You should do that in January.
You should do that in January. Get your taxes done in January. Like, save yourself from doing it in April.
There's your computer work. You could do that.
Yeah. And, like, formulate a business plan. Like, formulate your goals for the rest of the year. This is a great time to do that.
Yep. Reflect. We said reflect earlier, so reflect on your previous year, what worked, what didn't work, what you got tired of, what you got burned out on. Pricing. If you need to change your pricing,
now's a great time.
Maybe get a little uncomfortable with your pricing.
Yep.
And figure out what you want to give a go with that. I usually do that in January for sure. Start changing my prices because I take stickers off everything.
Yeah.
And then just decide on something, go with it. Maybe that's if you do have wholesale orders or consignment shops, let them know that you're open to whatever they want restocked. Maybe you focus on what they need restocked, and if you need to tell them, hey, some prices changed, or...
Oh, I have another idea.
You can do that. Okay, what's
Okay,
up?
if you're not in the if you're not in the zone to like, okay, let's say you maybe don't have shows, you don't want to take a break, and you're like fine with money. I used to do this. We would talk about this all the time. I used to do this every January, February. I would do some kind of challenge for myself to get ahead of the game for the rest of the year. So
It lasted for about 5 weeks,
no,
and then
remember I did the 707. That one worked.
no, I remember the 23-day till
It was
May.
23. That's what it was. 23 day till May. But like set a goal for yourself and try to do that. So like in January, I remember I did 707 days. So I did 700 pieces in 7 days, one January, and that was a huge weight off of my shoulders. But obviously you don't have to do 700. But
That's a lot.
that's a lot.
Oh my god.
But like do things like that. We were talking about that with Merritt and Sarah today, like kind of like prepping for the year, and like figure out what you want to make for that year and try and get ahead of the game, so that when May rolls around, June rolls around, you're not freaking out and
Yeah.
like not behind. Like Merritt's
Yeah, and if you
Merritt said that she needs to make 60 pieces a month, in order to get to her
there
goal.
you go.
And I think that that's a really, like for her, she does carvings and it takes her a long time to do those things. And that's a really realistic goal for her. For me, it may be that I want to make daily, I maybe want to do 30 thumb cups. So I don't have to make those, I can just pull off the shelf and glaze them. So like
That's where I really encourage stacking Bisqueware. If you're a potter and you make things on the wheel, don't focus on the whole start to finish. Just focus on throwing, and then getting them finished, getting them to a bisque kiln.
yeah.
Maybe that's a good goal. I want to be able to fill up a bisque kiln at the end of this month, or 2 bisque kilns.
Yeah. Having the bisque there, if it's a set design, by the way, don't be filling up a bisque kiln with stuff that you're like, I don't know how.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
I mean,
about
if you know mugs are good
yeah,
sellers for you, you're gonna have to make, I don't know, let's just say 500 mugs for the year.
yeah,
Maybe that's a lot. Maybe that's more pieces than you make in the whole year, anyways. Maybe it's 100 mugs.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yeah. Get it to bisque and just stack them up. Put them in totes if you need to, and just save them, because that'll
Mix in some pieces you don't like making as well. If you know they're gonna sell and you don't like making them, treat yourself with the pieces you like making, but maybe start the day with the pieces you don't like making.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, whatever. I would say start with the pieces you don't like making.
Same.
Because by the end of the day, you're not going to feel like
actually
doing it.
I do the opposite, but
You end the day with the pieces you don't like?
well, like today I made 30 wine glasses first, and then I did 8 plates, and I was not looking forward to the plates. But the plates took
Really?
me like 30 minutes, so.
Okay. But you did all the clay prep for the cups before, and then you threw them.
And then I did the clay prep for the plates, but it was only 8, so it took like no time.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. But
yeah, you should definitely. I mean, I wasn't gonna say. I don't know. I'm never take it easy. I'm not gonna take it easy for like 2 weeks straight. That just seems like I'm getting way too behind. For me, taking it easy for 3 days is kind of a
that's a stretch.
max for me. It's not a. But it could, it could be. Hey, we're intentionally planning to
Yeah.
spend New Year's together, Rachel
Yeah.
and I, and then we will go to Claycon West. That is 5 days.
Yeah.
That's a Thursday through a Tuesday, and we stay there an extra day or 2 days to go to Zion while we're there. So we're very intentional about having outings together.
Yeah.
So that we spend time together as well as relax a little, so that I don't. But it can't be. I'm not going to go on another week vacation in January when I was just gone for 5 days for Claycon West.
Yeah. I also think that like taking it easy when in January is different, and like working in January is different. Like you're not like freaking out. Like if you don't get your list done, you're like, meh, whatever. Because you're not on a timeline. It's just like, cool.
And when you need a lot of pots by May, I mean, you could play around with how many pots you make.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, maybe you get some damp boxes made.
Yep. And I think also
That
being
might be a good.
consistent, like being on a schedule, if you're a schedule type person, like I'm a schedule type person. So if Mondays I make wine glasses, Tuesdays I make spoon rests, Wednesdays I make larger things, Thursdays, like that kind of thing. That
Mm-hmm.
might be helpful.
Yes,
Um,
because that list could be pretty unbearable when you look at it. If you just jot down a
yeah.
list of, hey, I would like to get 500 pieces made by May,
Yeah.
and you break it down, and it ends up being 80 of them are mugs.
Yeah.
It sounds daunting. It's like, I don't want to make 80 mugs this week.
Right.
So you just break it down. You're just like, okay, maybe I'll make 20 this week.
Yeah.
And then you just break it up.
Yeah. 5 months.
Manageable chunks. Don't overwhelm
time.
yourself with.
Long time.
Yeah.
But if this has anything also, I mean, I think it should be noted that use your December and use your Christmas months as hoarding money. Hoard your money. Like, we only get certain times of the year. We're like painters, right? Like when I was in the painting industry, it was like you make all your money in the summer, and in the winter you take a couple months off because there's no work, So like you have to budget accordingly to what the tides bring. So, we know we're going to make more money November through December, and you're going to make a ton of money June through August. So May through August, I guess. But honestly, May through December. Like but
yeah. May through December. I don't even do a show until May.
Yeah.
So
like just keep that in mind. Like what I'm doing this year, I want $10,000 in the bank before I hit January 1st. And that's not even that much money. Like comparatively,
Yeah. It's crazy looking at because I always keep my records month to month, which I would love to be able to get I want to be able to get that bookkeeping tutorial together, and I want to teach some people that over the winter. If I can get that back in my priority list, maybe I can teach that to some of you all that have asked about it that I have not prioritized. But I do it month to month, and it seems so daunting to look at what I made during like November and December, and I'm like, how the hell am I gonna do that?
What'd you make
last year? Last year November was almost 9,000.
Wow.
And then December was almost 15,000.
Shut up.
Yes.
What?
I don't know either.
That's crazy.
A lot of art shows.
That's fucking crazy.
Art shows. And that includes the Etsy sales.
Yeah, I'm doing a
Some
drop.
consignment checks will start coming in.
I'm doing a drop,
which will be
December.
Yeah, I'll do an online restock here in probably a week or two. I don't know. I'm more of I don't know. Some people will say, like, I'm seeing some memes out there, or not memes, but I'm seeing some posts out there that say like, small businesses don't get overwhelmed and kill yourself for the holidays. I'm like, okay, I get that, but also don't go too easy on yourself.
Because this is when you make your money.
Because you can take, and it's not taking advantage when people are willing to buy because they want to buy handmade.
Yeah.
So I get it. If you're already behind the game, maybe don't kill yourself to make something because you're doing it last minute. But you need to be taking advantage when people are buying right now.
Yeah.
Especially if you're talking like Becca, hey, I'm trying to get 10,000 to carry me through the next couple months or 3 months. Like if you want to take it easy, don't take off the most heavy buying month of the year.
Right. Like I have shows every single week up until the 17th of December. And then honestly, like after the 17th, I don't have anything, but I don't even have anything on the 17th. But I think...
Yeah, I mean, don't kill yourself to be working on Christmas Eve and Christmas. Like, By that week, you should not be.
Yeah, like I plan on being out
You
of
should be
town
fine.
on the 17th to the 26th, 7th. So like, yeah.
Yeah, you should have your ducks in a row and stuff figured out so that you have a nice 2 weeks at the end of the year that are just relaxing, in my opinion.
Ugh. That's crazy that I want to make $10,000 at 4 shows, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fuck it.
I mean, you just made a little over 4,000 at the last one.
Yeah, I have almost 3. I don't know how much I have.
You don't think 10,000 for 4 shows?
I'm gonna do it.
I think you could.
I'm gonna do it.
That's why you added that. I think it's good that you added that Washington Park one in there.
Oh, the 2-day one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that'll be good.
By the way, all of my shows are in Cincinnati now.
Are they?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Or Louisville. Is there one in Louisville?
No.
No. We're going to Louisville.
Louisville.
We're going
Louisville.
We're going to Louisville. And then don't we have a show like right after? When's Thanksgiving with your mom?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
What?
And we got a show on Saturday. You're doing a show on... Did you sign up for the show on Friday night?
She never emailed me.
What do you mean she never emailed you? She was emailing you stuff?
What Friday night?
We're going to Louisville on Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday.
What day is that?
The 22nd, 23rd?
22nd, 23rd. And then we have West Side Market on the 26th.
Yes. Did you sign up to sell on the 25th at night that I was talking to you about?
No. No, because you were going to tell her to text me, to email me.
I told her to reach out to you.
And she didn't.
That you'd be interested. You should reach out to her if you really want to do it.
Okay.
It's 3 to 8 p.m., so...
Okay.
But yes, we are doing Westside Market together on the 26th. Not together in the same booth, but we're at the same show.
Yeah. How much did you make at Westside Market last year? Can we just go through how much did you make at the off market and at Westside Market?
Okay, give me a second. I need to pull up my Square account. Okay, so you want me to read off what I made at each of these shows last year? Becca's like, what to expect when you're expecting
what to expect when you're
to sell good at shows. Oh gosh, I don't know how I hit almost 15,000. All right, you could have filled the time a little bit there, Becca.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm looking at my candle.
Oh my god!
I got this new candle from this company that was at the show that I was at. I traded her. She got one of my bigger bowls, and I traded her for 2 candles. And
okay. Last year, off market collected.
Yes.
$1,700. And then I will not include the holiday bazaar because you're not selling at it. Yeah. But I did, I think, a little over 1,000 at that one. I did the Clay Alliance Holiday Pottery Fair last year. I'm not doing that this year because I'm going to my parents' party that day. Damn, I sold $1,500 there.
Okay.
Not doing that one. Oh, I'm not doing these.
Do you do West Side?
I'm doing a couple. I did not do West Side last year, but I could look at the year before. And I did a couple small holiday markets at the farmers market in Fort Thomas. It was about $900, and then I did $1,000 at that one. And then the 3CDC, the Washington Park one that we did, or I did with the hut, I sold $2,500 there.
Okay. And then with my online stuff, I should do okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure about West Side. We'll see about West Side. I think I did in 2020. West Side Market, November 20th. Okay. Keep talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, so I got this candle, and it's called Wine Down. It's warm woods, sweet berries, golden amber, and it's delicious. But what I will say is that it has 2 wicks, and they're not centered. And so one side of the candle is not melted as much as the other side of the candle, and it's bugging me. So that's that.
I used to take the candle when I was a kid, and I would like roll it around so the wax would spread.
I also do that now.
But I don't think that's good because then the wick burns down, and then you just get a bunch of wax caked on the walls.
Yeah. Well, it's you are supposed to burn a candle for like 2 hours. At first, at least, so that all the wax like evens out.
What do you mean? It's already flat though.
I know, but you're supposed to burn it so that the whole surface is like melted. So when it remelts, it's flat.
Oh, I gotcha. Because when you pour it in there, it hardens from the outside inward or something.
No, because if you blow it out when you just have a little bit melted, then it's different surface levels, and it doesn't burn evenly.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I found the West Side from 2020. I sold about 1,300 there.
West Side. Okay.
1,300. And it's a lot of 40-year-olds, kind of middle-aged women.
Yeah.
There's some families there. I think your earrings will do well there.
Hope so.
I don't know about you might get some wine drinkers, some of those.
Everybody drinks wine. Oh.
I don't think you're going to sell many fancy cups. You might sell a couple, but
you never know.
Maybe.
I've been blown away at how many people are willing to buy a fancy cup.
Yeah.
Not expected at all.
Now I'm wishing I'm doing the Clay Line show, but I'm not. That's
Sucks
all right.
for you.
That's all right.
I'm not going.
I've still got, what is it? November 16th. So I still have 5 shows this year.
Okay, so what's your goal at the end of the month? What do you want to make in November and December?
I haven't documented some of this stuff. Okay, so in total, it looked like last year it was about, I want to say 9,000 and 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
25,000? Holy crap. No way. 20,000?
This year is definitely different economically.
There's no way I'm going to make 20. I'll say 20,000. That's fine.
20,000.
Well, also some of the things that I'll get trickle in, I'll get some of the sale checks that'll trickle in before the end of the year from when the sale season started for holiday shopping. Yeah. So I might get some checks in December that were sales from October, November time. So
I'm wondering if I should put my earrings on Etsy for Christmas time.
Did you do made to order on those on your website?
Yeah, I did made to order on the website.
Are you getting Etsy sales in general?
I've gotten a few, but we got so.
Do you have any pottery on there or just shirts?
Just shirts. We got so many for Pot Swap that I was like, oh, I should probably get something on here because people seem to be like going to the store. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I don't know. I mean, it's already mid-November. I mean, you can, but you really should have had stuff up there the last month or so.
Yeah. 79 views in the last 7 days.
Because it'll take some time to get your stuff in search results to show up, because the more people that go to it, the higher visibility it'll get in searches.
Yeah.
Because it shows that other people are already interested in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you could try a mystery box or something, but I don't think you want to get rid of that kind of stuff right now, do you?
I'll figure it out. It'll be fine.
See, I think the people that are buying your stuff are going to benefit getting it off your website. That way you get a bigger chunk of the pie than putting it on Etsy, unless you're fine with that. Maybe you do Etsy once you start traveling and you have made to order and people can just buy it whenever.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you probably will want it on your website and on Etsy.
Yeah.
So you can hit different groups of people.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, let me look over this question one more time and see if we miss anything. Yeah, I think we hit it all.
Look at us.
The only other thing I was thinking was if you aren't spending time in the studio, you could always do some house projects or something that you've been putting off.
Yes.
Maybe clean your fucking house. I need to clean out the garage. We need to do that. Clean out the storage area. I'm going to be doing that for sure. Spend a couple days cleaning out the storage. I mean, it's not that enjoyable because the garage is so cold right now, but
yeah.
Kind of need to do it though.
I cleaned my studio a week ago or a couple weeks ago, and it felt so good, and it feels so good to like be in there and like not have a bunch of crap. Like, and also
I did some cleanup for the studio sale that I had. If you're wondering about the studio sale, it will incentivize you to clean your space up. At least I would hope so.
I also have officially decided that I'm over Reclaim. I'm the first person to tell it.
You don't have that much Reclaim anyways,
I don't.
right?
I have I think I have 2 5-gallon buckets worth, which isn't that much, honestly. And one of them was like from a long time ago. Like I never actually touched it. And now I'm just putting it on my plaster bat, letting it dry and throwing it in the trash. I'm so over it.
Is it Dark Star?
I think so. You can have it if you want.
I kind of want to try some Dark Star.
Yeah, sure, take it.
Ooh, new ideas. If you got boxes of clay in your studio like I do, I have 2 or 3 boxes of clay of stuff I've never used. I have a box of Brown Bear that I haven't used. I got a box of porcelain.
That's a good time.
I'm not saying I'm going to be doing this, but hey, you can experiment with some different clay.
It's a good time to try it out.
Yeah. I want to throw some more of that gray clay. Did I show you some of that?
I like the gray clay.
I need to figure out how to make that, though.
Where did you get the gray clay?
It was trimmings from my Sgraffito work. The work that I do the black slip on.
I want to do... Oh, God.
And then I carved it, and then I just dried it out completely, and then submerged it in water, mix it up, dry it on plaster.
Maybe I can make some gray clay with Dark Star, and it'd be gray speckled clay.
Ooh, that would be pretty.
And then I could do fancy cups. Oh.
That would be badass.
That would be badass. Okay.
Or you could just get some black mason stain.
I could just do a gray. Yeah.
Take your Reclaim that you were drying out on bats and just dry it completely out, and then get some black mason stain.
Yeah.
What I've figured out though, to get it black is to do 20% of a mason stain of the black. I think it's called Best Black.
Yeah.
6300 or something.
6666. 6600? 6600?
I think 6600. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And 20%. But if you did like 10%, that'd probably be a good gray.
Yeah.
Maybe try that. There you go. Use your Reclaim.
I don't want to.
I wouldn't want to incorporate that into a wet ball of clay. That just sounds terrible. I see people put those like inclusion stains and onto wet clay right out of a bag and wedge it. I'm like,
absolutely
no,
not.
you.
Thank you. No. Thank you. Next.
You can sprinkle that onto bone dry clay that you pulverize, and then you submerge in water, and then you mix it up, and then you dry it out. That's what I would do.
For sure.
And that's what I have done.
I've found that, like, my wrists are just shot. Like, it's not the reclaim as much as it is I can't wedge anymore. Every time I even wedge a little bit, my left wrist, like, gets twinged. And I don't know if that's a word, but it...
I think it's pinched.
Twinge?
Tinge?
Anyway, it...
Hinge?
It just really hurts.
Twitched?
I
don't know if twinge is a word.
I think twinge is a word. So, but every time...
A sudden, sharp, localized pain.
I was right.
Okay.
I'm so proud of myself.
But I thought you said pinge
No,
first.
I said twinge. But yeah, I just like get this really sharp pain in my wrist, and it's just not worth it. So I'm done.
Ping?
Pinge.
Pitch?
Twinge.
Pinge. I was looking up pinged. It says past tense, and then it says past participle. The fuck does that mean? Remember that back in the day? Past participles and adverbs. Those were always the oddballs.
Do you remember conjunction junction? Conjunction junction, what's your function?
Function.
Okay,
oh
we should probably leave.
Yes.
It's almost 12, so that's our cutoff.
Alrighty. Thanks everybody for listening. Good luck with your holiday season. And take some time off.
Yeah. Treat yourself.
But also be thinking ahead.
Yep, that's right. All right.
Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time. All right. Bye.
Yo, higgity, yo. It's Becca here. Hey, just so you know, thank you for listening. And also, we have... What do we have again? A Patreon. We have a Patreon that you should go, and if you want to donate to, you could donate to it. If you don't, that's cool too. But just Google Wheel Talk Podcast Patreon. Don't do the other one, because there is a Wheel Talk on Patreon, but it's not us. So make sure you get the right one. It's in the show notes. And also, leave us a review, because they're fun to read. Okay, bye!